When are we going to catch a break as Arsenal fans? When are we going to catch a break? So it's come out this week that a couple of our players have returned from their international duty with some minor injuries, some of them major. And I'm just looking at this news and I'm going, this past week, right? We just lost to Man City in the Carabao Cup, the first major final of the year. Arsenal competing on three fronts now. And you're looking at the injury list, right? And you're going, this is the worst possible time that this can happen because this is the last international break. This is a time where you're saying, okay, everyone go back to your nations, your last couple of qualifiers before the World Cup this year, your last couple of friendlies, whoever team it is, right? And then when you get back from that international break, everyone should be raring to go. Everyone should be looking at this as this is the fourth quarter. This is the last stretch, give it your best shot. And the news coming out of the Arsenal camp, right, with all of these players now saying, oh, certain guys are carrying a knock, certain guys are nursing some knee injuries. You already have the likes of Odegaard and Timber and Marino who have been out before now. And I'm going, wow. And these aren't just like regular like squad players. I'm saying our major players, right? If I give like the whole list of every single player for Arsenal right now that is has returned from the camp or is carrying something, you have Mikel Marino, Martin Odegaard, Trossard, Noni Madueke, Saliba, Gabriel, Nkapie, Declan Rice, Bukayo Saka, Zubimendi, Eze, Nkapie, if I've not already said him. But these are our first team players. Our two centre backs didn't go to their national team because they were carrying injuries from that Carabao Cup final. And no matter how anyone wants to put it, right? If these players were 100% fit, they will go for those competitions. They will go and represent their country. As we know, every single football player, it is their dream to represent their country. But the fact that they have to pull out from these matches, the fact that you have the updates coming out from the team, right? During Timber, he was out before the Carabao Cup final, and then I'm looking at During Timber, and I thought, oh, he's definitely gonna start the Carabao Cup final. Maybe he's one of those ones where we're just resting him, but he's genuinely carrying a knock. He physically cannot compete at the level which Arsenal want him to compete. You look at Declan Rice. The understanding for Declan Rice is that he's as well as carrying a knock, and for me, Declan Rice is Arsenal's most important player this season. So you're seeing these players, right, and you're getting the news that physically, they are not able to compete at the level needed for them. You have Bukayo Saka, they're saying red zone fatigue. They said he needs to rest his body. And this is a Bukayo Saka who I feel like hasn't been at his best this season. This is a Bukayo Saka who I feel still has levels to get to. And so you tell me that a player who I think hasn't been at his best is now not 100% fit. Come on, guys, give me a break. Just some more players. Madueke as well. Madueke, who has kind of been like that spark plug for Arsenal this year, especially with Bukayo Saka underperforming or not hitting the heights that we expect him to hit. Madueke has been a spark plug, but now you want to tell me, oh, Madueke is nursing, some knee injuries and that was the same thing that was happening with him. I think earlier in the season when he was out for a little bit, and now those injuries are coming back to nag. It's I'm looking at the stretch of this season that we're in right now, and we need every single player to be 100%. Every single one. You have Zubimendi. He just withdrew from the Spain camp with a knee injury. I think I saw a picture of him from Spain's training, and he had like the little tape around his knee, and these are just not the pictures that we need to be seeing at this point. I thought this international break, especially with the way and manner in which we lost the Carabao Cup final, would be an opportunity for us to just sit back for these players to rest, right? And granted, because of these injuries, they are getting this rest. But the fact that we can see that some of our most important players are dealing with nagging like ankle problems, knee problems, muscle issues going into the stretch of the season, it's just not the news I want to hear. And people will be like, why does it matter? Like, it matters because the way in which we lost that Carabao Cup final, right, was really a slap in the face. I feel like it wasn't the Arsenal team that I know and I've watched this season. It's not the Arsenal team I believe that can challenge on all four fronts. And well, after this international break, which is the last one of the season, you're looking at the final stretch of the season where you've seen the likes of City and Liverpool go on like winning runs in this final spell. That's when everyone's clicked in together. That's when everyone's fully fit, raring to go, giving in the last roll of the dice to try and secure Premier League, to try and secure top four, but now you're hearing your most important players are not at the level you need them to be. Guys, it's just concerning. In a season where I've really shone from this narrative of we're going to bottle it, of this narrative of, yeah, Arsenal, until you do it, I'm not going to believe in you. I'm someone who believes in this Arsenal team. I believe that this team has been built to compete at the highest level, but we need our best players to compete at the highest level, and we also need our best players at their best. And their best is not just what they're doing technically on the pitch, but physically as well. Their bodies need to be right. And the fact that now we have Southampton on the weekend, and we have Sporting. The games are going to come thick and fast. Arsenal in three competitions. Like, we need everyone raring to go. And granted, this is a really big squad, right? This is a really big squad where even if these guys are out, we still have capable replacements. Maybe they're not to the level of our starters, right? But we still have capable guys that I think, regardless of whoever is playing, I always expect Arsenal to get a result. But guys, it's just concerning that our best players, Saka, Gabriel, Saliba, Rice, Odegaard, Eze, Zubimendi, these are our perennial starters. Even at the start of the season, Leandro Trossard was one of our starters. All of these guys are dealing with something. Just not the news I want to hear. On the flip side, though, some people think Arteta is pulling an Alex Ferguson. Some people think Arteta is doing the mind games thing where he's getting his players to withdraw from camp. He's doing, Sir Alex, we've seen him do it in the past. And, the tactical retreat where, you talk to the national team and say, hey, yeah, this guy has something, or we did a scan and this guy's dealing with something. I don't know if that's the case, man. Yeah, you can do it for a few players. Yeah, you can do it maybe if it's just Saka and Rice. But when you have an injury list 12 players long, I don't know whether it's then a tactical thing or you actually have players dealing with injury. I feel like a lot of people try to push this narrative with Jurien Timber before the Carabao Cup final. And I was on that bandwagon as well, where I think Timber is actually all right. I think we're just resting him for the games. Ben White can get a couple of touches, but he didn't play the final, and he didn't play because he wasn't fit. And I feel like that's the same thing with these players. Like, Arteta knows these guys aren't fit. So in my opinion, it's not a case of him pulling aside Alex. It's not a case of him being a tactical genius and getting his players extra rest. Maybe you can say that for Gabriel and Saliba, but for those guys who've actually gone to their camp and then they've had to withdraw, news coming out today in Capi, it might be more serious than we feared. It's hard to make that argument. It's hard to make a case for that. And just to wrap it all up, right? And I think these are kind of like the consequences you have when you're competing on all fronts. When you're competing in the Carabao Cup, FA Cup, Premier League, Champions League, and you're not just competing, right, where you're there for participation trophy. Arsenal this year, you're really looking at Arsenal as one of the favorite teams in these competitions. You're looking at Arsenal as one of the teams who can possibly go all the way and lift the silverware when all is said and done. So you expect these players to play at the highest level, the highest level. So when you play the same exile like someone like Declan Rice, Saliba, Gabriel, Saka, all these guys have hogged a lot of minutes this season, a lot of football they've played. It's so difficult, and this is kind of the consequences you've paid. But I'm really hoping, right, that if this is a case where our injuries are just like so much where like these guys are genuinely out and these guys actually can be at the level that we need them to be. The guys that are next up, right? I'm looking at the no guys. I'm looking at even Max Dowman. All these guys that they've probably been on the bench. I'm looking at Lewis Skelly, someone who can get a look into the team as well. I'm looking at these guys to, hey, can you guys go get us 3 points? Can you guys go get the job done? Can you guys, a shift at Southampton? Don't make it too difficult. Go take care of the business. Even Sporting, I'm looking at Sporting where even if we play our second team, I still look at that Champions League tie and I expect Arsenal to get a result. I think this team is that good. I think tactically we're one of the best teams. So I expect us to get a result. But the game that I'm really looking at, and I'm saying like the likes of Declan Rice, Bukayo Saka, Gabriel, Saliba, they need to be absolutely right up for it, is that game against Manchester City at the Etihad on the 19th. If there's any game I need all of these guys to be fit for, is that game. Because that game now decides the title. That game now, if you go there, beat Man City, Premier League's probably done. If you go there and you get beat by Man City, then hold on, we'll have a look. That's what Man City are saying. We'll have a right look, because that's just fair. If you're not able to go take care of the business, and for that game, a draw is a result for Arsenal and a win is a result for Arsenal. So you really have two out of the three possible outcomes to go for. 66.67%. And that's a game I need all of these guys to be fair. I need Zubimendi, Rice. We can't have a repeat of what happened in Carabao Cup final. And that's my main concern. all the other competitions, right? Even with Sporting and with Southampton coming up this weekend, I feel like our second team can take care of that. But if it's to a point where by April 19th, all of these guys are not fully fit and, feeling healthy and ready to go, then Arsenal might have a serious issue coming towards the final stretch of the season. But guys, let me know what you think. We'll be back again after the game against Southampton on the weekend. Let's hope the boys are able to get it done. Comment what you think about the team. Do you think Arteta's pulling us out, Alex? Do you think Arteta and Arsenal players are genuinely fatigued from the amount of games that we've played this season? Let me know your thoughts in the comment. But until then, I will see you soon.